Planet Earth, our home, constantly bathed in the vibrations of the cosmos, rippling down to affect even the simplest metamorphosis on our planet, ever progressing in a cosmic pattern of change. Yet, even as we're surrounded by these seasons of transformation, there is one thing that remains constant. Still point.
I started using the laser the morning after surgery, and I had 3 incisions, and at those incisions was where the therapist would massage every day when she came before we did our exercising. And she said, well, in every patient I've ever worked with, you always have ropey scar tissue behind the incisions, and you have none. And she said, it's got to be the laser.
I had developed fused vertebrae from playing violin with bad posture for 9 years. When I found the scalar laser, magically it started dissolving the pain, and now it's completely gone and has not returned in 2 years.
We understand that the body every 7 or 8 years is totally new. The eyes, they say 2 days you have totally new eyes. The question then becomes, well, gee, if the body is new in 7 or 8 years, why would anyone have an injury going back 10, 15, 20 years? And what folks started to come up with was this thing called cell memory. So someone would get a knee injury or a shoulder injury, and that information from the injury we'll call the cell memory. New cells would keep coming in, but that old cell would pass that information of that injury to the new cell. Now the new cell, vibrant brand new cell, starts behaving and acting like the old cell. All lasers donate energy and stimulate cells to regenerate. It's the first mantra of our seminars, is that cells love to grow. The only thing the body does, period, is to grow new cells. It's the only thing the body does. Well, I use the analogy of a garden. To me, a garden is a great way to describe how this principle works. Because what do you do when you plant a garden? You find an area where there's sunlight. And then you prepare the soil and you plant your garden in the sunlight. Why? Because the sunlight delivers photons. And those photons in turn go into the plants, the fruits, the vegetables, the leaves, what have you, and they increase the ability to grow big, healthy fruits and vegetables. Laser therapy works the exact same way. They don't cut, they don't burn. What they do is they donate energy. Lasers are effective because they donate photons. Those photons increase the part of the cell called the mitochondria to produce more ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ATP is energy. It's a fancy word for energy molecule. That's all it is an energy molecule. And that energy molecule in turn drives 70 to 80% of the cell's activity.
I had a dear friend call me and suggest that I buy the laser. And to begin with, she met with a whole lot of resistance from me. Not because I'm anti-laser, but because I've had a lot of experience in my chiropractic office using lasers. And I love them. They're fabulous. But basically, I thought I had a good idea of how they worked and what they could do for my patients. And I had one, so I just wasn't open. And at the end of that, she said, but Sam, this one's different. So she lived in Tampa and I live in San Francisco. So she visited about a month later. And when she did, she brought a laser and she said, here, Sam, use this for a couple of weeks, no strings attached. So I did. And at the end of 2 weeks, I knew 3 things. I knew that I needed to have a laser for myself. I knew I had to have a laser for my patients. And I knew I had to have a laser for my mom.
First came in contact with the laser through my son and our good friend Jennifer. And first I used the laser on myself for my left shoulder pain, fractured left foot, muscle spasms and what have you. It worked very well for myself, and I decided to use it on patients.
I was out with some friends that I hadn't seen in a few months, and one of the ladies asked me if I had gone down and had some face work done. And I said, what? And she said, well, you look so much younger. And I said, really? And she said, yeah. She says, the lines around your mouth here are almost gone. And she said the lines around here, they call them the parentheses, are almost completely gone. And I really love that because I'm 59 years old, and I was actually accused of being 45 a few weeks ago. So I thought that was a great side effect. I was really excited.
I've had the laser for a few months, and after about 2 or 3 months of using it, I'm using it primarily for regenerating bone in the top front part of my mouth, so I don't have to have a painful and expensive surgery. And after about 2 or 3 months of using it, the contour of that area definitely has changed enough so the plate that I have had to be readjusted. And at the time I went to the dentist, he said that the x-rays were inconclusive, but that clearly because the plate is being adjusted, that it was likely that something bone was growing, that things were changing.
Now, I also like to be clear with the difference between our laser and other lasers, because there are some key differences. Our laser uses multiple wavelengths. Most laser companies use red, and then the next batch use infrared. Red is good from my standpoint on surface cells. Red does not go in as far as infrared, so they're great for skin, soft tissue, muscle, nerve, meridians. Infrared lasers are also good. The length of the wave makes them not visible. Infrareds go much further into the body. To me, they're much more effective for bone, tendon, cartilage, disc, for neuron, brain cell activity. Our company, we use red, we use infrared, and we use violet. Most companies do not use violet lasers because violet laser diodes are very expensive. To me, they're fantastic because they do a very unique thing. Violet light holds way more information than red or infrared. Well, for example, the newest Blu-rays, the newest game things are all using blue. Blue. They've switched from red to blue. Why? Because blue holds more information than red in the color spectrum. Well, violet is beyond blue. Violet holds a ton of information. What we do is we have a processor in there, and we're actually first creating these nice rounded sine waves, but then we're taking lots of different waves and using very subtle, refined information within the light to induce the body to relax, dissolve, neutralize, what we call quantum, the quantum part of the technology. And the scalar part is designed to neutralize and dissolve polarity, to dissolve cell memory and allow the cells to relax and expand into neutrality. We live in a huge ocean of space. Now, planet Earth has had an electromagnetic field, polarity. Body, emotion, thoughts, cell memory, all that stuff is polarity. It's information. So by practicing resting in neutrality, we call it still point. We don't hold on to that stuff.
And I bought my scalar, it's been about a year ago. I have used it for migraine headaches, and that's worked fabulous for them. Also some that have a lot of sleep issues, that's helped them for that as well.
He usado el láser durante año y medio aproximadamente, casi 2, y los resultados que he tenido han sido maravillosos. Soy terapeuta. A nivel personal, cuando sufro de insomnio, puedo usar el programa para dormir e inmediatamente me quedo relajada y regreso a dormir. Los resultados en general a nivel de estrés con el resto de las personas que trabajo son muy impresionantes, porque realmente puedo darme cuenta cuando trabajo para relajar el sistema nervioso, el cambio es inmediato. Estoy muy contenta con el láser.
Years ago, I was learning craniosacral therapy. And in craniosacral therapy, there's a rhythm that happens. That rhythm can be seen in the tides in the oceans. That rhythm can be seen and experienced in the body. It's a very subtle, gentle in and out. When that rhythm, when that positive, negative, whenever you have positive, negative, and it comes together, it dissolves into what's called a still point. Polarity, neutrality. Everyone go ahead and try something. Take a big breath in. And as the breath comes out, try to hold on to an area of tension or pain in the body. It's hard. If you really go neutral, if the body really shifts to neutrality, you can't hold on to polarity.
About 3 years ago, I had a very bad nerve injury in my neck, which radiated down my arm, and it was numb, and I lost power and strength, and I would go down into lockdown like daily, and I thought I'd lost the use of my arm. My doctor said it was nerve damage, couldn't be regenerated. I heard about the laser, I got one, I started working on my nerves up here with Unwind and with the probe, and it took a couple of months, but I have full use of my arm now, and I'm just so excited about this product.
I was given a diagnosis of thinning of the cartilage in the knees, which may be linked to pre-arthritic condition. I believe that's what the chief orthopedic surgeon told me. And I used my laser, and for the last year and a half, 2 years, I've had no swelling and no discomfort with my knees whatsoever. And I'm really grateful.
Well, for chiropractors, well, for anyone, I can see this as something that would allow us to develop a different stream of income from whatever our main job is. And for those of us that are in the healing profession or want to help people, it's a win-win deal. And the truth is, I believe that what I do as a chiropractor is a huge service to people, but since I've been working with the laser, I believe that this is a higher service for people. So I love it when they buy it and take it home and use it, and so far I've heard nothing but good things from people.
And in India, I was hanging around with yogis and mystics and these kind of folks, and one of them says that they live in the space between the breath. And as soon as I heard that, it was like, yeah, obviously, that's still point. And they use that experience. They also call it the breathless state. They use that experience as literally their reference point for being on planet Earth. Our Still Point seminars are all about, again, not quantum theory, not any new idea or belief. The purpose of the quantum seminar is to experience, first and foremost, Still Point.
Quantum Wave founders Paul and Lily Weisbart have embarked on a mission to help people from all over the world to unwind from stress, tension, and dis-ease.
Giving people an opportunity to, whether using it on them, whether sharing the laser, whether letting them get involved for them to go and share the laser. For us, it's literally about sharing empowerment for people to start to deal with their own situations, find solutions, unwind, and come back into a state of greater coherence with the universe.
With unique products originating in long-proven science, Quantum Wave aims to provide people with a new reference for quantum wellness as we enter the new season here on planet Earth.